Hi, for today we're going to talk about stressful life events and how can we handle it. So let's talk. So this morning I read an email. It was actually someone's blog regarding the death of her dad and just coping with that. Her dad was with her for probably about a year and a half before he passed away. Her and her husband moved him into their home after the whole diagnosis with the brain cancer, and just being a caregiver for him during that process. And although it was a stressful event, going through all of that, just having the time to be with that person, to be with her dad and go through this process with him, she saw the blessings in that. And of course, she's asking for prayers to get through now dealing with his death. So, 5 areas of stress that I would like to touch bases on today is death of loved ones, divorce, moving, major illness or injury, and job loss, because those can be very stressful events. And there's other stressful events. If we think of our young people, have an exam coming and things like that. Even starting a new job, that can bring its own stress because it's something different. So how do we deal with these stressful life events? The death of a loved one, the person who wrote her blog, she reached out, she asked for prayer and encouragement. So that's how she's dealing with it. People going through divorce, that's a very difficult thing to deal with, especially depending on how long you have been married and how much value you put into marriage, and things of that nature. That can bring a lot of stress. Moving, having to pack up, especially if you've been someplace for a while, and then having to pack up all your belongings, going through your things, having to pack it up and then move to this new environment, that brings along stress. If you were injured or you have a new diagnosis, cancer, diabetes, whatever it may be, or you fell, broke an arm, broke a leg, cannot work, can't take care of your baby or your young children, and then job loss. You're used to getting a salary to make sure that you could pay your bills and put away savings and get your necessities, but now that job has been lost. So that brings along its own stress. So how do we deal with these stressful life situations? It all depends on what your resources are. If you're a person that has family and friends that you could reach out to get that comfort from or to get ideas on what to do next, if you could network, speak to doctors, let's say you're injured. Some people don't have access to medical advice. And so they can guide you along the way of how to properly heal and things of that nature. You lose a job, you can't pay your bills, you didn't have savings. Some people will have access to unemployment benefits or have family members that can help out in the time being or can, help you get another job. Dealing with divorce, do you have young children that are going through that process with you? How are you going to handle now being single again? So your resources, you can have families, if you're divorced, family members who can chip in and help. What your spouse used to do with regards to maybe that person, used to pick up the kids after school. Maybe you could have a family member who can help you with that. If you're moving, looking towards what's the benefits. Why did you choose to move? Is it to a quieter environment? Is it someplace that has more job opportunities? Thinking about those positive parts of the move. So, with regards to stress, I believe that the best way to deal with stress is the thought, our mind. Our mind is such a powerful thing. If we keep thinking about the negative parts of these stressful situations, it's going to play on our minds more and more. And then that's when the anxiety come and those feelings of frustrations and the fast heartbeat and, not being able to function and do the things that you normally do. Though it's not easy, it is possible for us to not dwell on the negative aspects of these stressful life situations, but look for the positive. And maybe you're going to need help to look for that positive piece. If you want to live a life of peaceful mindset and happiness and joy, the easier choice is to make that decision to look for the positives instead of dwelling on the negative, because the negative is going to keep us in a stressful mindset. But thinking on the positive will pull us out of that. Thinking about solutions to problems that come up will help that process. And here at In His Service Ministry, we are here to help. I have been doing social service for over 20 years. So I've come across a lot of different experiences and situations. I myself have lived through and am living through some of these stressful situations. And the reason why I continue to smile and be at peace and so forth is because I have learned to put my trust in God. And it doesn't mean that sometimes situations don't come back up that can cause stress. For me, what that does is when the situation comes up, I go back to prayer. I go back to reading God's word, because it is in that I find strength to keep me pressing forward and then being able to help someone else. So I hope that this little talk has been helpful. And if you need help in stressful situation, definitely reach out. You can leave a comment. You could go to the website at ihsministry.org. You could leave a message there and I will get back to you. If it's just prayer you're asking for, you could leave that prayer request there as well. So I hope things are well with you, and I hope that you will be able to better deal with stress. Be safe. God bless.